Hey everyone, welcome to this video. My name is Andreas. I'm a driving instructor in Speke, and here is a commentary on one out of the 8 possible test routes you can get on your driving test. We're starting just outside from the test center, and the SatNav is going to ask to turn right on the traffic lights ahead. You have two options here. You can take the middle lane or the right-hand side lane. So I've chosen to stay in the middle lane, and as I'm approaching at the traffic lights, I'm going to start turning to the right, keeping myself to the outer side of the road, since the lane next to me is also turning right. I can see there is a bus already stopped, so I'm going to switch lanes when it's safe. And normally I will have returned back to the left lane, but the SatNav is going to ask me to turn right soon. So if, let's say, for example, you are not on the right lane and you just kept yourself on the left, there is no bus to overtake or anything like that. Once you pass these traffic lights, you want to start moving to the right-hand side lane, as the SatNav is going to ask you to turn right on third exit on this upcoming roundabout. Make sure you take good caution because this roundabout tends to get busy, especially in the morning. Once it's clear, you can enter, you can start counting your exits so you don't get confused. And normally you will exit from the left hand side as you are coming out from the roundabout, but on this occasion you have hatch markings on the floor, so I will exit from the right hand side. And at the same time, I'm reducing my speed as the limit now is changing from 40 down to 20. Once the hatch markings are finished, I'm going to check my mirrors and move back to the left lane when it's safe. And just bear in mind here, it gets a bit tricky because a lot of my students tend to go a bit more faster, especially when other road users, they do tend to go faster. Arriving at this roundabout, you're going to be asked to turn left first exit. And again, ensure that you have speed discipline. The best practice in here is to play between 15 to 20 miles so you don't go over the speed limit. Otherwise, you're risking it. Arriving at another roundabout here, this is the third one, you're going to be asked to turn right third exit. So the keywords you're looking for is you're turning right and the number of the exit. So this time I can exit from the left hand side of the roundabout, and you're going to have a change of speed limit to 40 and also a sign that says the bus lane is now closed and you can use both lanes. So you can stay on the left hand side. Don't get confused if you see pink markings or pink color on the floor. That's still a lane you can use. And as you go ahead, you will see another set of traffic lights. You're going to have two next to each other. The one on the left with the arrows that says you can go straight is the one that is for you. So once you pass that, you're going to be asked to turn left. So gradually you're going to reduce your speed, and as you're turning left, you're also going to have a change on the speed limit down to 20. You're entering a residential area, and ahead of me I can see there are parked cars on the left. So I'll start moving slowly into the right hand side and give way if there is any oncoming vehicles wherever possible. Once I passed the last parked car, moving back to the left, and now I'm going to be asked to turn right. The most common mistake I've seen here is students moving into the right hand side of this road. It's a two-way road, and trying to turn too early, cutting the corner, which it can result into a major. After you have a clean turn, remember the speed limit here is 20. And again, you have parked vehicles on both sides. So look ahead, plan ahead, so you will have more time to react and assess the situation when it's unfolding in front of you. Now, at some point, you're going to be asked to turn left, and in here, you're going to be asked to pull over, potentially pull over to do a parallel parking. If not, then you're just pulling over and then continuing from there. Proceeding from here, you will be asked to turn right, third exit on this roundabout coming up now. Position yourself over the speed bump because it's going to help you to position better when you arrive at this roundabout. There's only one lane here, and at the same time, you're not risking going over the hatch markings here on my right. So I'm going to enter the roundabout when it's safe, go around, and as I'm exiting from the left in here, I can see ahead the left lane is taken by parked vehicles. So I'm going to start moving to the right lane as soon as possible. And the sat-nav is going to ask me to turn left at the end of this road. Now be careful not to signal too early because it might be misleading. Other road users might think that you're turning left into the junction here. So make sure your signal is timed correctly, move to the left lane, and at the end of the road, the speed limit is changing to 40. After emerging into the new road, accelerate and reach around 35 to 40 miles per hour. If there is a cyclist in front of you or someone who is going slower, then keep back and overtake if it's safe and you have a good visibility. Otherwise, if the road is busy, then hold your distance and follow them until you arrive at this village here, where depending on the time of the year, if there is too many bushes in here, the examiner might warn you that the speed limit is changing to 30, or if the bushes are not there, then it's your responsibility to look at the speed limit. Now, you're going to be asked or potentially asked to pull over here to the left along this line of the trees. Moving on from here, you're going to drive for another 400 yards and eventually the road will be narrowing from the left. So you're going to see a sign where the traffic sign will be saying, give priority to any oncoming vehicles. In here, you have to stop if someone is coming. If no one is coming, like in my situation, I went in without stopping and moving back to the left lane. Driving ahead, I will be arriving at a sharp bend to the left, and then the sat-nav will ask to turn left. In here is a bit tricky because when you turn, you have to make sure you stay inside your lane. I'm going to illustrate by putting the camera next to the wheel so you can see it more clearly. Most common mistakes I've seen here is students turning and going over to the other side of the road, and that could also lead into a major. Proceeding further to exit the village. Now you're going to have the signs here changing the speed limit to national speed limit. Now you need to be careful in here because the speed limit is 60. However, the road is not suitable for 60, but rather 40 to 45 miles per hour because you're going to have a lot of bends and low visibility or restricted visibility. So the recommended speed in here will be around 40 to 45 miles per hour. And the time of the filming, the road in here is in good condition, so I am more comfortable doing this bit. But at the same time, if it's heavy rain and so on, you will be probably looking to go down to 30 to 35 miles per hour. Now, again, at the time of the filming, there is roadworks warnings, and as I'm coming around a bend, eventually I come to stop behind a queue of cars. Now, if there is no car in front of you and you're the one waiting, you're going to have to stop where the sign tells you to stop and not at the traffic lights. Otherwise, that will also be a major. Driving ahead, you're going to come to the end of this road. You're going to turn left and then take the first turn to the left. And here is your slip road to merge into a dual carriageway. So use the slip road to accelerate, build up your speed, reach around 50 miles per hour, and merge when it's safe. Now, not long from here, around 30 seconds or 20 seconds, you will be arriving at a 50-mile zone. You have to drop down to a speed before you pass those signs. And then again, another 30 seconds from here, you will be arriving at traffic lights where the speed limit is dropping down to 40 miles per hour. You're going to have warning signs as you're about to pass the traffic lights. And then from here is around a 2-mile stretch until you head back to the test center. Now, eventually you will be arriving at the big roundabout we've seen at the beginning, where you have exited from the right-hand side lane. Once you go around this roundabout, on the right-hand side, you're going to have the Speke Shopping Center. And once you see the Senior World on your right, that is the last traffic lights before the ones that you're arriving to turn left to go to the test center. So in here, your lane is going to open up to 2 lanes, one for the bus on your right and one on the left in here. This is the one you should be entering, and then turning into the left. Watch out your giveaway lines. And from here, drive down the road and take the second turn to the left after the orange sign, and you're going to be entering back to the test center.